Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back for the brand new video. The first recap of the new season, kinda. Ladies and gentlemen, as of course we're here to discuss our annual first pre-season game of the season. And listen, you know how these types of things usually go. We didn't dive too deep into the pre-season aspect. We're not going to do our usual here where we break down minute per minute and really break down the flow of their overall game, because we know what these games are. They're a kickabout, they're important for legs, supposedly getting through them without any injuries, and we usually know the end result isn't that important, you know what I mean? We beat the likes of Real Madrid and then dropped a goose egg in terms of domestic trophies that season, so it doesn't matter too much in terms of the results, but there is individual storylines, if you will, or talking points that I think is worth speaking about. You get players stepping up, putting a bit of spotlight on them. You have others getting an opportunity, shrinking, throwing it away, and then you have those that aren't involved at all, as they've got knocks. So come in, take a seat, take a load off, and let's talk about the latest Rangers game of football, the first one of the new season in terms of official pre-season fixtures. I know we had a 0-0 game versus Standard Liège, but again, that was behind the doors friendly. We probably didn't get to see that because the last behind the doors friendly we got to see, we all lost our mind at how bad it actually was. Good call, Rangers TV. We didn't need that manic added to the overall atmosphere. But I want to dive into this game because there is a couple of things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the fact that Connor Goalkeeper was given the captain's armband as James Tavernier missed this game because of a knock. Him and Cantwell both missed it with a knock. Also, Oscar Cortez has been pushing really hard, is also missing this game. But it's probably going to be the first two that people want to talk about. I've already been asked a lot, do you know anything about Tavernier? Is Tavernier gone? Tav's never injured. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, we'll say this again. He's normally never injured, but the official line is that he has a knock right now, and I don't think we really need to speculate on whether he's staying or whether he's gone. I suppose we'll find out over the next couple games, whether it be against Manchester United or versus Birmingham. We'll find out just how long this knock is and how long the skip dog will remain at the club. But that's where I'm sitting. I know it'd be fun to go down conspiracy theories and speculation this, and my dad said this because he heard from his roommates whose WhatsApp's pal's hairdresser overheard the guy at Tesco loading the truck say Tav was away to Saudi. I know it'd be fun to dive into that, but let's just stay in reality right now. All we got told officially is he has a knock, so we need to believe that. Thought we didn't. But when we want to talk about that, let's talk about the guy that was wearing the captain's armband, because that's my first problem of the actual day, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing against him, of course. We heard apparently that if Tavernier does go, it'll be Butland, not Goldson. But I feel like this was a game, Goldson was fit. We're not making anything drastic right now. If Tavernier goes, it'll be Butland. So I feel like Goldson was just doing his job as a vice captain right now, stepping in when the skipper isn't actually playing. But where my frustrations are and one of my negatives that I'm taking from this game, where I know it's a pre-season game, but you're constantly pulled into that battle, ladies and gentlemen, where yes, it's about getting minutes on the leg. It's always going to be ugly, especially a first pre-season game, but also this other side's telling you it's the same crap we've seen, the same mistakes, the same stuff that's haunted us season upon season. And I thought the defence was quite poor, especially in the opening 20 minutes of the game. And probably if you look at overall in the game, we're going to speak about Kelly in the next couple of minutes as well. We could have been looking at a different scenario there where we got beat 5-6-1 today. We could have, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think any of us could have argued with it. So the defence really does frustrate me, and I hope to see a lot of movements over the next couple of weeks where people going out and people coming in, because I just didn't believe in the defence, ladies and gentlemen. I thought Connor Goldson really showed why. I know he's just back from injury. You know I'm a bit of a Connor Goldson fanboy, but I just didn't think he was great. And what he lacks and his biggest weaknesses are Rangers' weaknesses, switching off, and I think you saw that with a couple goals we conceded, especially the first one. I mean, it's a Connor Goldson special. He gives away the silly foul, he argues with the referee for about 5 minutes, isn't even looking to play. Sterling gets caught in his heels as well, by the way. Davies is absolutely nowhere. It's a ball in, and it's just usual shambles for Rangers. So I just want to see a bit more for that, but I guess it is the first pre-season game. But the defence, I don't don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, I thought the two centre-halves weren't great no matter what pairing we'd done overall in the game. Was impressed with Big Jeff, or Hefty as he's commonly known, ladies and gentlemen, running down the left wing. I thought he was a positive, and you could see his differences from even a Ridvan and a Barisic, and it's that raw pace. It's that pace we spoke about. The times where Rabi did get the ball and looked dangerous, the guy was just running down like the roadrunner on the left-hand side, and what that does is it pushes defenders being able to double up on Rabi, and that's when we won a lot of our free kicks, or where Rabi did look dangerous. I mean, the free kick that won the goal, a lot of that was done to young Hefty burning down the left-hand side, pulling a full-back out of position, so there is positives there. But the two centre-halves, I'm crying out, please get me somebody in there. Before I do move on from the defence, however, can I just say, can we please finally learn to play to... See the wee thing that you get learned for a child? Just drum it in to the players then, shall we? Because as much as we look at Goldson, as much as we look at Sterling's position and Ben Davies' positioning, the ball gets played in. Butland possibly gets a touch on it. I've not seen an angle. Maybe it is a penalty, but he's flicked it. If we're actually running, if we're busting our ban, if we're paying attention to the game, we could get back there and try to block it. But everyone just stops. Even Butland stops. They get another bite of the cherry and they tap it into the net. That's where I slipped this way and I went, we're doing the same things as we've done every year. We need to train how we want to play instead of playing how we train, and that's clearly no listening. But I guess that kind of perfectly wraps up my opinions on a couple of these players, not only the defence but the others in there as well. My negative thoughts, or my frustrations I should say, from the actual game of football all came down from players who could and should know better, you know what I mean? A lot of these players have already made this mistake, they've already been sloppy here, and then they've carried it into the actual season. So I think there is something in that the new players looked the most exciting and offered fresh ideas. They weren't beat down by past failures, where I think you look at others and said, they're just not learning, man. It's time to move on. But that's what pre-season is all about. It's about putting your stamp down and making your presence be known. And I thought Jeffy did that at the left back. And I thought Sterling, for the most part, looked very promising down the right-hand side as well. Powerful and obviously a lot better defensively, despite switching off for that instance. But it's one of those things. He's probably still trying to adjust to actually playing in his natural position. He's never been there. But before we get to the positives, and trust me, there is positives to talk about, especially for me, we need to talk about the second goal that we conceded, which was obviously another negative. And for me, it's an absolute blunder by Jack Butland. I can't paint it round any other way. If it was anybody else, if it was Robbie McCrory, it was this or that, people would be slaughtering him. But I know we all love Jackie Butland, but I thought his positioning was mad for the free kick anyway. He's obviously baiting the player in to go to that angle. He's just overcommitted. He can't get doing enough in the balls in the back of net. But that goal should never be gone in, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just be honest and open about that. We have to do it. I know he's our favourite. I know he's done this. I know he's done this. I know he's done this. But if we can slaughter guys who scored over 100 goals for this club, and if we can slaughter this and slaughter this, we should be able to hold our hands up and say, you know what, Jack Butland's had a howler there. And for me, that second goal should never been gone in. But where I think it's interesting, because he did make a couple of good saves in the game, it wasn't as if he was terrible, that was just a poor goal to concede. This is a very interesting season for me, because I want to talk about a player that did impress me, and it was in the exact same position as Jackie Butland, because in came Liam Kelly in that second half, and what did he show every single person who watched that game, whether it was paying $7.99 or it was illegal streams? No, I don't condone any of that, so please don't flag this video, you know what I mean? You know. Anyway, Liam Kelly let himself be known to the Rangers fans, and I think showed why we went ahead and signed him. He's not here to pick up a wage, he's not here to sit in the background, he's not here to waste his career. He's here to ruffle some feathers and try to push today his lifelong dream of being #1 at Rangers, ladies and gentlemen. And no, I'm not saying we should panic and over this, oh, Butland's made a mistake, Kelly's been really good, let's swap it right away. That's not what I'm saying. We can't get lost in the hypes and the ins and outs of early pre-season game, but what it does is underline something we talked about right here. He's here to push Jack Butland. Butland has genuine competition, whether you like Kelly or not, wherever he was before. What he showed today is he is an absolute tremendous, I was like Fernandes, but he's a tremendous shot stopper, ladies and gentlemen, and he kind of backed up what I said. He is probably glove for glove the best in the league in terms of those sharp reactions and making those saves, because he didn't just make one phenomenal save when he got down with a ridiculous save from a header. His second one late in the game of football with the reactions he showed is even better, and that there is how you take your time in the spotlight and show your worth. Jack Butland, stop with the short-sleeved nonsense, get the long sleeves on, get the heat tuned in and get back to being Jackie Butland, because you finally have some competition nipping at your heels, and that there will be massive for this football club, ladies and gentlemen, and it'll be massive to keep Butland at the top of his game, because every mistake he'll know someone is raring to go, and I think Kelly showed that today, and why, again, it was a very smart piece of business bringing him in, as I thought he was excellent, truly. And that's a warning sent to Butland. And that excites me, you know what I mean? Great players can have mistakes. Great players can do this. Great players can do that. But again, it's about how they respond. They've just seen what Kelly's done. They'll hear what people are saying on social media, blah, blah, blah. Right, Jackie Butland, get back out there and show you are levels above. Hopefully you can do that in your next game or two. But Kelly was one that really impressed me, as did Connor Barron. Now, unfortunately, the way I need to talk about Connor Barron coming in to the game of football is my only other real negative in the game of football, and that was the fact that Raskin unfortunately got injured, and with a challenge that I thought was absolutely shocking. It was scissors. I didn't understand how the amount of yellow cards that referee gave, but he didn't see that lunging challenge from behind with a scissor action at the end, properly crunching Raskin right in front of him, worthy of a yellow card. That genuinely could have been red, and I'm being deadly serious. I thought it was a shocking challenge, especially for a friendly. And I joked on Twitter, the last time I seen a guy run about and do that in a friendly versus us with that type of shocking challenge was Tom Lawrence when he was at Derby. Mine, he was nearly scratting with half the team. Well, that's ironic as that is, it went round full circle. Now Lawrence is on the park for Rangers, thankfully not involved in this one, but we were asking picked up a knock, so hopefully it's a speedy recovery. By the time I record this, hopefully there's an update, so if you scroll down in this video, I'll give you an update. But yeah, that's my biggest negative. But that injury opened the door for Connor Barron, and it's all about taking your opportunities when they're presented, and I thought Connor Barron was really good today. Like, genuinely, he's one of my positive ones, and that's one I can look at and say, yeah, I can see this actually working. Because if you think about the time when he came into the game, you know what I mean, as we said, it could have been this, it could have been that. We also did play pretty well in parts as well, by the way, but that's not as fun or as clickbaity for people to actually see. But if you look at when Connor Barron actually came in to the game, it was during what I would consider pretty much dominance for Ajax during that period of the time. They were mauling us, they were running over us in the midfield, they were getting chance after chance after chance, and it did look bad. But I thought Connor Barron came into the midfield and offered a different stability to our overall midfield than maybe what Raskin can actually do. Dropping a wee bit deeper, giving us a bit more protection. He was getting on the ball. It wasn't just lump ball after lump ball. It was all about him getting on the ball and just being that classic player, that classic midfielder that gets completely overlooked until he's no in the team, and you say, wait a minute, what's missing? What's missing is his maturity in the way that he ticks the boxes and just keeps things ticking along. Again, his first real bit of action, if you want, in terms of a Rangers shirt, and I was really impressed, especially against some of the players he was against Ajax in that game, to change it really like that. For me, he was really one of the standouts and someone that I think you can look at and say, yeah, I want to see more of that laddie. The opportunity came for Connor, and for me, he took it. And look, I'm not going to over-exaggerate saying he was a world beater or anything like that, but that son you can look at and see some positivity, because I thought his energy and mobility was very important, and that will take me to maybe my biggest positive for the game, because again there was some other ones. I thought Tom Lawrence looked like a different man after his actual goal. Now unfortunately I don't think Tom Lawrence is going to be here for the start of the season versus Hearts, if I'm being brutally honest in that. But phenomenal free kick. I mean, you could almost hear Tavernier trying to hop down the stairs to speak to Clement, because someone's just took a set piece and scored for Rangers. He's starting to get a wee bit nippy in that aspect. Brilliant goal, and I thought his overall play was really good in the day. If I'm honest, I thought Rabi was alright. I thought Diamande showed again he has got something a little bit different and everything like that. But for me, when the likes of Danilo came into the game, into that second half, and I know Ajax made a lot of changes, but so did we. We had a lot of young laddies on the actual part. But for this, to what I saw here, is my biggest takeaway is one of the main criticisms I've seen of Clement is, what's his style of play? He's not got any style of play. He's not done this. It's been this. And I really disagree with that, because if you look at when Danilo's been able to play, his style of play, what he's trying to implement into our team, is really clear to see. It's when we don't have the ball, it goes to a 4-4-2. It was Lawrence up beside the striker, well, it was Dessers or obviously Scott Wright on an occasion, and then our boy Danilo for the last 15-20 minutes, and it was Lowry up beside him. Well, so it was a 4-4-2 out of possession, and that keeps the defenders honest so they can't 2v1 our centre forward and just play us off there. They've got to be stretched out, and you can see the style when we have fast, mobile players, not only in the striker position, what Danilo offered, chasing and pressing. Think how many times we won the ball back in the last 15 minutes and had a moment or had a chance or created a chance for Scotty. Right, that's Clement style play. That's what he wants today. He wants that front four fast and can be able to move, to get after and put pressure and have a higher intensity. And that all starts with the striker. Whether you love Dessers or no, he can't give you what Danilo's got. And you sometimes forget that Clement came in and started Danilo when he had them both fit. It was Danilo. Dessers wasn't even coming off the bench as he was trying to build Clement's style of play. Then Danilo got injured and it was only Dessers. That's all he could work with. That's all he could do. And clearly what he's wanting from the guy leading the line at Rangers, Dessers can't be, which why I think he won't be here by the time the window slams shut. But I like that front four. You could really see it, and that's when we pull back to Barron as well. That mobility, that pace with the Diamandis and all that as well. You can start to see the true style of play if you want a Phil Clement, and for me that is pretty damn encouraging. That's what you take for a pre-season game. That's what you take when players are returning for injury. Can you start to see what's trying to happen? And for the first time in a long time, I sat back and went, aye, I get it. He wants that pace. He wants that positivity. He wants that high pressure. And I think Danilo and the likes of Igamani, when he finally gets the opportunity or when he's actually been given a chance to prove that he's actually ready, can do that role. And that's what I take for this game of football. You can quite clearly see the Clement play, style of play, sorry. It's high pressure, it's high intensity, and it's playing with raw pace. I mean, Scott Wright had several opportunities, all down to that press, all down to that pace, and a lot of that came down to the youngsters coming in and offering a wee bit more as well. But that's a kick up to maybe the guys that's been here for too long, not been able to actually run. I like Alex Lowry. I know everyone says, well, I heard on someone's WhatsApp group that it's got something to do with his attitude. Oh, I heard this, oh, I heard that. I didn't care. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I mean? You go on Twitter and search anything, you'll find a rumour for something. I don't care about that. What I see is talent with that laddie. And I know he's a young laddie, and I know he's this, and I know he's that, but it's just one of those things. You can see he's got something different. He's creative, you know what I mean? He'll go for the outside of the football. He'll try to take risks. He's got the confidence and arrogance to jog on a park. We're playing for Rangers versus Ajax and put guys off set pieces and want to actually take them. That's something a wee bit different. And I know he's not everybody's cup of tea. Oh, he's pishy. Oh, he doesn't work hard. Well, you've got to make a decision. What do you want for your team? Do you want goals, assists, creativity? Well, let guys be creative. If you want to just keep hammering players down and hammering players down and hammering players down, oh, you need to run hard, oh, you need to track back, then you get 2 free goals a season and everything like that, and about 4 assists a season for your midfield. So you have to make a decision on that aspect. If you want the creative players, you've got to allow them to try and be creative, and you can see it with that lad. He's just got something a wee bit different now. If he can all click and he can get up here tuning in with the old feet and show a line of consistency, not only in terms of games but being available to play as he's picked up the injury bug himself, then hopefully he can prove us alright and show he's got a wee bit of sun. But I just like him, ladies and gentlemen. He's something different, and after watching so many players get bogged down and smashed down and played the exact same crap way, air and the hard work grafters, all they work hard, well, we're no winning nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get a bit of creativity and someone willing to do something out of the ordinary, because what the ordinary is doing is allowing Celtic to win trophy after trophy. Now, of course, I'm not sitting here saying that Alex Lowry's going to be the difference maker in us winning trophies as we ever play him, but I'm saying the guys like him, you know what I mean? The idea of those types of players, I feel like we need to get more in tune with and start accepting once again. They maybe know do this, that the grafters of that can do, but they can also put the ball in the back of net and create chances, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the hardest job in football, putting the ball into the back of net. And I think you can all agree, or we can all agree on one thing, is we need to get better at that if we want to continually and consistently win silverware. That's not what we're being able to do. So I would like to see a wee bit of change in that. I would like to see maybe more of our young players be given an opportunity. If they're good enough, play them. I'm sick of, oh, they need time to do it. Oh, no, they didn't, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? I'm sick of losing out on talents like say Ross Wilson, who's away down to Aston Villa now. You've got wee Fraser now away at Anderlecht. You've got guys like Billy Gilmore's had to leave and everything like 15, 16 went down to Chelsea and everything like. They need to get their pathways to that because they just know they'll not get opportunities up here. And it's not just a Rangers problem, it's kind of a Scotland problem overall if I'm actually thinking about it. But I just feel like the mindset needs to shift and change for that. If they're good enough, play them. And for some of the guff I've had to watch getting played over, the likes of Alex Lowry and everything like that, is it not worth risking, seeing if he can do it? Now again, if he can stay injury free, I'm sure he will get the opportunity, and I hope he does. But that's just my thoughts on that, ladies and gentlemen. He is one that I continually say year upon year upon year I want to see Mary. I just never do, and it's a pain, if I'm being honest with you. But that's really my overall thoughts on the game. There were some good things, some things I can take for the game, some things that I've maybe learned for the game, and then there's obviously the usual negatives, and the negatives are mostly the same problems, the same players making the same issues for the overall squad or making the same mistakes. And again, I thought the bright sparks were pretty much all the new players, if I'm being brutally honest. But what about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there. It's obviously the first pre-season game. Could have been this, could have been that. Scotty Wright had a couple opportunities to put the ball in the back in it. It looked really, really bright, but I thought a lot of that was down to the actual pressing of Rangers and the style of play Clement was then able to play. Could have been this, could have been that, but it was a 2-1 loss to Ajax. What did you learn for the game? Who stood out to you? Is there any negatives? Is there some positives? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the comment section below, and I'll see you at the next one, and I might even see you soon regarding a player out leaving the football club. But until then, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.